Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video here on the Meat Gaming channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about what is, in my opinion, the best way of getting farming XP. This method is very low cost to set up. It costs like almost nothing to maintain, and it doesn't actually require any manual labor after you set it up other than like refueling furnaces and things like that. It's completely passive, which means you could harvest a farm, just AFK on your island, and it generates you stuff which you can then use for Alchemy XP. Now, the method I am, of course, talking of is the cactus farm. Now, this farm was pretty big when Skyblock first came out. I haven't quite finished this side, but yeah, this is a cactus farm. I know it looks pretty intimidating at first, but trust me, this thing is really easy to build once you get down the rhythm. It's also pretty straightforward. There isn't really any specific good design, but if you clicked on this video, that means you probably want Alchemy XP, and in my opinion this is the best way to do it for free. Notice that I do say for free. You could use a sugarcane farm, as you can see I'm building here, but the thing with the sugarcane farm is that that's money you're basically throwing away into Alchemy. Alchemy is known to be a pay-to-win skill, but I feel like you can also level it up just by building one of these farms, and it's not quite as good. It's probably gonna help get you to around level 25ish, and after that you are gonna want to stick with the enchanted sugarcane method. But it's pretty good, it's pretty good for I'd say around an early mid-game player. As you can see, this farm is run by a single furnace. This is a hyper furnace. Now, the reason you want to use a hyper furnace is because coal efficiency. I refilled this 2 days ago, and it has used barely any coal. Keep in mind there's also a ton of coal sitting in this hopper. So this thing uses almost no coal, and the reason for that is I actually have some cactus in here. If you stick cactus in here, it burns through all of that. So it burns through the cactus, right, really fast, but it doesn't burn through the coal. It burns through the coal like a normal furnace. That's why in my opinion, this furnace is really good because coal efficiency, not because of speed. You alternatively could use these super smelters, but they require a bit of iron to make, which again shouldn't be a problem if you have a minion down. But it's a bit more complicated to make, and it's not as good because you have to collect from each of these unless you build like an item collection system here. And it is slow, and it uses a lot of coal. Now let's talk about how to build this. Now I'll start with the cactus itself. So if you don't know, if you haven't played Minecraft before, which okay, that was stupid of me, but basically cactus, whenever it grows, or whenever a block is placed next to cactus, it breaks. So basically this cactus farm abuses that principle, and basically when the cactus grows, this fence, I just used a fence because I think it takes up less space. It grows, it's next to this, and it immediately breaks off. So the second the cactus grows, it breaks off and it falls down into the water stream, which is collected by hoppers, which go into the system I showed you earlier. Now this is really easy to replicate. As you can see, I have a fence. This fence is for these two cactus. This fence is for these two. I have one on the end here because it's not even. But as you can see, this farm basically follows the same basic principle. I do recommend using fence posts though, because it takes up the least amount of space, and there's really no reason to use anything else, unless you're going for aesthetics, of course. Basically, the only problem with this farm is that you have to be careful. You want to use as the least amount of space as possible. As you can see, I have my farm closely tight together. But I mean, that's just to save space on my island. There's a chance like here cactus can fall out, so if you do want to make this 100% efficient, you do want to build up walls. The reason I don't have walls is because I'm extending my farm, and that's another good thing about this farm is you can extend this as long as you want. Actually, you could probably extend this to about here and about that tall, because once you go past that, the items will start despawning. Because in Hypixel Skyblock, items despawn every 30 seconds. Now let's talk about the collection system. This is pretty simple. It's just a line of hoppers that collect everything, and as you can see, the item will travel between hoppers into this chest. I just have a chest here, so it's just an easy way for me to transfer items downward. And I also have a chest in here because if I ever get extra cactus like from these furnaces, I can just chuck it in this chest, and it will smelt. Pretty nice. So basically you have all the items going into a chest, and then you have a hopper retracting from that chest into a hyper furnace, and then you have the hopper on the bottom of the hyper furnace going into the chest, and I just have this extending downwards, and it collects cactus for me. It's pretty nice. You also want to make sure, it's basically just a simple super smelter except with a hyper furnace. You want to make sure you have a hopper going into the back or the side here, and this is where you keep all the coal. And it's important it's on the side. This is pretty basic stuff, honestly. Basically what you want to do is once you get this cactus, I'm just gonna take out like a little bit. You get this cactus, right, and you can craft it into enchanted cactus green. Now enchanted cactus green is basically the equivalent of enchanted sugar, whereas it gives you 360 sorry, what was I saying? It gives you 300 alchemy XP whenever you brew a resistance 3 potion. I'm gonna drink one because I just have too many. Resistance 3 is also not that bad, so I mean you can always use these potions. What I have here is I have a bunch of brewing stands where I just manually fill up bottles here and just brew potions. That's pretty much what alchemy is. So I would recommend using the enchanted cactus green and not turning into enchanted cactus. Enchanted cactus is the equivalent of enchanted cane, and it gives you 5,000 alchemy XP per potion. But the thing is it's a lot less resource efficient. So if you're willing to spend the time, it's definitely worth using the enchanted cactus green. Another thing that I feel like I should probably mention is that this farm, if you have the magnetic talisman, sometimes when you're like around the area, like if I just probably stand here, I can pick up cactus through the through the wall. So you want to build your AFK pool a bit away. I have mine over here on this mess of an island, but I have my AFK farm here. It's pretty nice. I mean, I don't know what else to say. But yeah, that's my cactus farm. It's pretty good. There's a couple bad things about the cactus farm. One is that it does take up a lot of space, but that really depends on how much you want to build it. Another thing is two, it is slow until you build it up. Now just one layer of cactus, just a couple modules of cactus, it won't do that much. I believe on average one cactus grows every 15 minutes. Basically, you want to have, each cactus gives you 4 cactus per hour. So if I were to AFK in there for an hour, I would just have to take the number of cactus, multiply it by 4. And yeah, that's how much cactus green you would make an hour. The coal actually is pretty cheap. Again, this is probably the most expensive thing about this farm, is just supplying it with coal. As long as you AFK, I would recommend using coal blocks. Of course, I'm using regular coal, but coal blocks works just as well. If you leave and join your island back, what that actually does is it resets what's in the furnace. It resets the fuel right here. So if you do that a lot, you'd probably just want to stick with regular coal. The last thing I want to mention is that instead of having these brewing stands, vanilla brewing stands, you can actually make an auto brewer for your farming XP. I don't actually like these because what they do is they have a chance of breaking whenever you leave your island. So again, it's AFKable, but you don't want to leave your island or get kicked. So that's why I just have regular brewing stands. But yeah, this farm's pretty versatile, and if you were to just sell the cactus green right now, this farm makes around 60k an hour of just pure AFK. So that's pretty nice. That's better than some AFK sugarcane farms I see. And I highly recommend you build this farm. But anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. If you did like what you see, please consider subscribing. We recently hit 500 subscribers, and that's actually insane. I'll make a video on it soon. But anyway, yep, I don't really know what else I have to say. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to hit me up in the comment section. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say.